And at this point, I had just had my fifth baby and was losing my mind. Like, it was utter chaos. I needed order. I needed structure. I decided we're going to have a family motto. That sets the stage.
Welcome to The Lisa Show, where we take a good look at life. Hey, it's Lisa. What does family culture mean to you? Well, let me tell you, I have been hearing these words a lot. Family culture, the culture of your family. And in keeping with my current phase, which you've probably picked up on over the past few episodes, my panicking because my kids are almost all adults phase, the idea of family culture has kind of an edge for me. Did we make enough memories? Do we have enough inside jokes? Did I establish a culture? Is it too late? And so I have asked a lot of people that question. What is family culture to you? Including my good friend, Vanessa Quigley, who is really good at this. Vanessa is the mother to many, many children, many of them young adults, and her youngest is in high school. And she even founded a business on strengthening family culture. So we have had many conversations about different family cultures and how to cultivate them. So many conversations. But the first thing I want you to hear is what Vanessa had to say about conflict repair and her family motto that got this ball rolling in the first place.
We instituted something we called the do-over. It started with me calling it on the kids, like, do-over. You know, that wasn't a nice way to treat your sister, or you shouldn't talk to your mother like that, do-over, which just gave you a chance to like, take a deep breath, rethink it, and not act out of emotion, but show up more the way that you want to. But quickly, my kids started calling them on me and my husband. Like, parents make mistakes too. This is something my parents never did. They never owned up to their mistakes, which was really, really difficult for me. So as a parent, I try to be better about that. But sometimes we don't see what we're actually doing. So to have a kid call a do-over, first instinct is like, how dare you? Like,
yeah, I'm the adult.
Yeah. But then it's with a moment and a pause to reflect for a minute, be like, oh yeah, I could have done that better. Let me do that over again. I don't know, that sets the stage to repair and to move on, because everyone just wants to feel heard. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes we lash out because we don't feel heard and we're trying to get our point across. But often it can be done in a more loving way.
I like that, having a chance to give each other a do-over, making it part of your relationship.
Part of the culture of your family, like acknowledging we are going to make mistakes because we're humans and we have emotions, but we can do better. I had heard from some parenting expert about the importance of a family motto. And at this point, I had just had my fifth baby and was losing my mind. Like, it was utter chaos. I needed order. I needed structure. I decided we're going to have a family motto and I'm going to whip these kids into shape. So we came up with Quigley's are kind, obedient, cheerful, and polite. And I made them recite it every single night at family prayer, drilled it into them. Obviously, it didn't mean that they always showed up that way, but it created this culture in our family and this mutual understanding of what we expect, what it means to be a Quigley in this sense of belonging. As our kids got older, the creed morphed a little bit. Now it is Quigley's are respectful, responsible, considerate, and kind. And yes, we have hand motions to go with all of it. I was going to say, I wish everyone could see the hand motions that she's doing. Hand motions to go with all of it. That's amazing. And, we don't often get all together these days because my kids are all older. But when we do, guarantee I make them line up, oldest to youngest, and they recite the creed. But I think that, obviously spending time together, that helps, foster connection and relationships, but having this shared sense of identity. And another thing that helps do that in our family is looking at family photos and family videos. And conflict and competition is inevitable in families, right? But when things start to feel a little tense in our family, or even if I start to have hard feelings about any of my children, it happens. If I put on, some of our old family movies or pull out some of my chapbooks and look through those photos, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, you know what? We're in this for the long haul. We've been through a lot together. We've had some amazing times together. We've been through some funny stuff together. And that's just so unifying.
conflict and competition are inevitable, but those aren't the things that define family culture. It's how you respond, and it's even just what you say it is. I love that Vanessa has continued to tweak the family motto and still brings it up when they all get together. Those two things, the motto and the do-overs, are very different kinds of family culture, in my opinion. There are things you, the parent, establish, your ideals. And then there's the stuff that you fall in together or invent out of necessity. And sometimes you have to choose between them. I remember as a kid in the 80s seeing a lot of homes and families post their family motto or mission statement in their homes. I've talked about the sign my parents had in our home in Nebraska growing up that read, "No put-downs, this is a safe place," and the impact that had on my friends and families. And I've talked about that on other episodes here on The Lisa Show. And there was always something a little daunting about that idea for me as I became a mother. I mean, how do you choose just one thing, one statement that encapsulates everything you feel about what you want your family to be? It seemed really important that I choose something 20 years or so ago. In the beginning of my motherhood experience, yes, it's an experience, at least I didn't call it a journey, I wanted everything. I mean, I thought if I could just want it to be the family culture, then it could be. If I prioritized what I thought was important, which was a lot of things like, getting good grades or developing a strong spiritual connection to God, being active in the community, serving other people, learning multiple musical instruments, reading and literature. I know. I wish I were kidding about all of these things that I'm listing because there were so many things and I'm being really vulnerable by just listing some of them, and I'm not even listing all of them. Anyway, but I really thought that if I laid this all out very clearly, the family culture would just come. It would just appear. But there's a universal parenting experience somewhere in there. Not just, putting up a sign in your home with terms and conditions. But I think most of us want a lot. And we have a lot of good ideals and goals. And then we have whatever unfolds. Motherhood has taught me that sometimes I can have my ideals or I can have a good relationship with my children. I can't have both. And that's not always a bad thing either, unless we choose for it to be. A lot of good things showed up in my family culture that I did not plan for, that I would not have put on my list 20 or so years ago. And I would have missed it if I only let myself celebrate when it was exactly what I had wanted. One of the unexpected things that my kids have picked up on is the Clarks show up. My kids say this back to me when I invite them to one of their siblings' events. A performance or a game, a welcome home, a special dinner, and the Clarks show up. Our culture is to show up for each other and make a huge effort to be together. I didn't anticipate how loving that would feel for me and how surprising and special that would feel when they say it back to me. Another part of our family culture is Halloween. I had no idea how big it would remain, even as my kids have gotten older. We watch the same movies. We all quote them. We do the same activities as they did when they were little. They look forward to it on the same level as Christmas morning. It draws us together. It's a funny understanding between us. When we introduce new partners into the family, this is the invitation. The invitation to the Halloween traditions. That is the real special invite. It's really a unique part of our culture. Our family culture involves a lot of things like music, but not the family band. I still haven't let that go. We also include things like prayer and a loyalty to friendship and kindness. My kids encourage and cultivate that in each other in a way I didn't anticipate. And it's very sweet to me. But the most important thing to me is that each of us feel that we belong, that everyone's invited, that none of us is less than and none of us needs to do anything or be anything to qualify in order to belong. And I didn't think of that so much when they were little. I really didn't. But it is such a vital part of our family culture to me now. I think there's something sort of comforting in this. You can definitely influence your family culture. But this is also just something that happens on its own, too, when people love each other and put in the work. You may not even know you have a family culture before sitting down and asking that question. What is our family culture? So now I'm going to turn the time over to you for the heartwarming, funny, and unique things that you've shared with me that define your family culture.
My family, I think one thing that I guess unites us is we have a lot of catchphrases and codes for things. For example, like if my family's in a grocery store, we'll all like whistle at each other. Like if we split up in the grocery store, we have like a special whistle that we do to like find each other.
We have a little holiday that we celebrate when it rains for the first time in October. And we always have grilled cheese and tomato soup. Meg and I will watch My Big Fat Greek Wedding on that day.
I had a tradition with my kids that we called Fun Day Friday. And we would go on outings and we took turns choosing. So when my kids were just little, it was like the balls at McDonald's. But as they got older, we did hikes and we did museums and we went to movies, and everyone just took a turn choosing what we would do that particular week. And I thought my kids would get over it, about the time that mom and dad aren't cool in junior high and high school, but they still loved doing it. And we continued that clear up until they moved away to college. It was really unifying for our family. And just a lot of fun memories are tied to that.
My grandkids are fairly young and they live far away. So one way that I have tried to stay connected with them is I've created this little Marco Polo group that just has their parents in it. And my husband and I tell them stories or read them books. And then they can just listen to that like as they're going to bed or when they need a little break. And then it's Grandma and Grandpa reading to them.
My family, like most families, is made up of a lot of different personalities, but we really come together and bond when we have no other choice. So we try and spend a lot of time together doing different activities like bike rides or family trips.
Something that's common to do in my family is just little acts of service. It's just a good reminder that there's somebody who cares about you and is thinking about you.
We like to watch movies, go out to eat, and play games together. You get to know each other better and feel more comfortable being yourself. It also helps you work through stuff easier because you're used to being around each other.
For me, my family motto is do it scared. And I think it's also just very connecting because moving a lot and traveling, like sometimes you have to really get out of your comfort zone. And just telling yourself I have to do it scared can really kind of push you and push your boundaries and just kind of like work and be strong and just kind of be resilient, and also can connect you with your family.
It might seem silly from the outside, I guess, but pretty much every season we will make like a new Minecraft server that we play on together as a family. And it's really nice because we get to do like creative collaboration together and create a little world. And
we do like a little festival and each person plans an activity and then we do that in Minecraft.
It's nice.
My family has invented a holiday that's even better than Christmas. We celebrate it the Friday before Christmas, and it's called Carols and Barrels. We go to my cousin's house in San Diego, and we all eat delicious food. And while we're eating it, my mom's playing the piano. We all are singing Christmas carols, and then it just evolves into us showing each other new music, singing karaoke, just all the songs that really bring us together late into the night. And then, so that's the carols. Then we wake up early in the morning, and we go surfing. And when a wave goes all the way over you, that's called a barrel, which has never happened to me. But we're a surfing family and a singing family. And that's Carols and Barrels.
A family that eats Mexican food together stays together. We all enjoy Mexican food, so at least once a week, we meet up at our favorite Mexican food spot, eat our tacos, digest and talk about everyone's day, how everyone's doing. And sometimes we're all coming from different places and we meet there and we're only there for 20, 30 minutes, but we try to make it a habit of doing that once a week.
In my family, we say love you more every time someone says I love you to us, which sounds competitive at first glance, but it's left a lasting impression on me that they love me much deeper than I could know.
One of my favorite things that me and my family do is we all sit around the piano and we sing Broadway songs together, and it just strengthens our friendship and it's fun.
So I have a book that I listen to with Meg, and there's a book that I'm listening to with Sunny, and a book I listen to with Shepherd. But Meg has different books that she listens to with like Sunny and Shepherd, and it's fun because it's special. It's between just you and that other person in the family, that you get to experience that together. And I think creating personal bonds, not just like all of us together, but each one of us together.
Family trips are what keep my family together. We obviously have a ton of fun, but it's the interactions that we have in the car where we usually get at each other's throats at some point, combined with the fun activity that makes us stick together as a family.
What makes my family special is that me and my mom would play badminton every day in the morning.
Baldwins are kind and gentle. Baldwins can do hard things. Baldwins love one another. Baldwins learn everything.
Yay! That little motto is one that I do every day when I drop them off at school.
I really try to have a family culture of playfulness. I want my kids to see their mom playing with them. I don't really remember my mom playing with me very much, which is like, oh, boo-hoo. She was doing everything else. I love my mother more than anything, and I'm so grateful for her. But I do have maybe one memory of her like playing with me, kind of in my world. So I try to have a family culture of playfulness with my boys. Like, you know, they want to play laser tag with me, we're going to play laser tag in the backyard. They want to do the trampoline. I want to laugh with them. I want to have a family culture of lightness of heart and joy and playfulness. It's never too late to have a happy childhood kind of thing.
As a family, we got together and we brainstormed ideas for a family mission statement. And we had a big whiteboard and we took notes from everybody. And then my husband and I, we kind of compiled it and tried to use ideas that everyone shared into coming up with our family mission statement. And then we had it printed big and have it displayed in our home. And then I gave each of them a printed copy that's framed that they can put in their home. And I think it just helps us to remember to come back to those principles that are important to us. Our family mission statement is, we love God, we love each other, and we love the world around us. We leave people, places, and circumstances better than we found them. We invest time and resources to build relationships and make memories together. We seek personal growth through learning, service, and adventure. We strive for health in mind, body, and spirit. We know that God is in the details of our lives. He has blessed us with an abundance, and we give generously. As a family, we strive to live and love like Jesus Christ.
Something that I think of when I think of family culture is that my parents, when I was growing up, didn't have a ton of money, but what they did spend money on was to allow us to have the best library membership that was available in our county. And because of that, we would learn together. And my mother especially put together weeks that were themed every summer for us, while we were out of school. We would have themed weeks that we would learn about and grow with. So we had weeks that were themed like classical music, where we watched Amadeus and learned about Beethoven and Mozart and these classical musical artists. We had other weeks that were dinosaur themed or solar systems or any other thing that you can think of that we would study and learn together. So when I think about our family culture, we have a culture of learning.
I think sometimes there's moments where I see other families, how they navigate life together, and I think, I wish it was like that. Or why can't my family culture or my family unit be like that? Why can't we live life like that? And it's only caused me pain and sadness. And I think that is not what God wants for us. I think He wants us to notice how uniquely beautiful ours is. And I think that family culture can be one of embracing and loving how unique ours is in its own beautiful way.
There you go. Family culture is in the little things. Some that you plan, some that you can't. But that's the part of the beauty of it to me, that it's a living, changing, creative thing we're still making together. Even if we're not all living in the same home anymore, we could still have a family band. Although I'm not holding my breath for that, and I'm appreciating what life has given me in its stead. I could still write a motto, put up a sign, I guess. That's what's so interesting. It's going to be different for every family. And by leaning into those differences, it gives other families the encouragement to be their own kind of family and have their own kind of culture. It should be different. Every time I think about my family and who we are and how we're changing and what that really means, I find something new to love about my kids in our life and the quirky ways it all fits together. That's family culture, baby.
The Lisa Show is a production of BYU Radio, hosted by Lisa Valentine Clark. This episode was produced by Erica Price with help from Becca Hurley-Long, Kenny Mears, and Blake Morse, with post-production by Gracie Davis. A special thanks to everyone who contributed their thoughts to today's episode. Don't miss out on 2 other great podcasts from the Lisa Show family, The Council of Moms and Proofread, a new book review podcast to help you read more of what you love. You can find The Council of Moms and Proofread on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for your messages. We read them all, and thanks for listening.
If you're looking for a podcast the whole family can enjoy, check out this new show, Constant Wonder Kids. It takes stories from the BYU Radio original podcast, Constant Wonder, and transforms them so kids can join in on the adventure. Constant Wonder Kids turns everyday moments into extraordinary nature explorations designed for curious kids and the grown-ups who love them. Together, you can discover fascinating facts and true stories about amazing people doing incredible things in nature. So join us as we dive deep into the ocean and meet an unexpectedly friendly whale shark, or cheer for tiny athletes at the International Hedgehog Olympic Games. Yeah, that's a thing. Constant Wonder Kids is perfect for road trips, bedtime listening, or when your brain's got an itch that needs to be scratched. New episodes drop Mondays, so tune in to Constant Wonder Kids on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.